So, Harry,
Yeah.
what would send you into a murderous rage?
Oh, okay. Again. The main thing that gets to me is probably people. Full stop.
People, full stop,
yes.
just people existing, yeah.
No, people who know that a rule exists, break it anyway.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, the main two examples I've got of this are people who they see that there's double yellows on the side of the road, which means don't park here.
Okay.
And then they're like, okay, I won't park there. I'll park half on the pavement, half on the road. Like, yeah, that's what the law is. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely what that's for. And then, of course, the other example is the classic people wearing a face mask, not covering their nose.
Of course, yeah.
It's, you know that you should wear a face mask, and yet you decide to do it wrong.
So you'd prefer people just flagrantly break go full double yellow or just no face masks or rather than half-arse it.
Basically, yeah. Especially with the face mask thing, because some people can't wear a face mask, and so then, you can't really say anything about it to them. But the people who are just wearing it over their mouth, it's like, sort yourself out, you asshole.
It's like they care, but not enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, you're right. They all deserve to die.
You know what? They only taken out the back and shooting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you know what? They probably will because they're not wearing that face mask properly. So
they're not parking safely.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Darwinism right there for you.
Mm-hmm.
Some films are fine just the way they are. Other films sometimes take it way too far. But really, how bad could it get? Let's go beyond the box set.
Welcome back, everybody, to Beyond the Box Set, the podcast where today we are pitching prequels, sequels, and spin-off ideas to Serial Mom. We'll also be pitching some drinking games and hearing other sequel pitches from our Twitter followers. But first, we're going to talk about some of our favourite moments from the original movie and catch you up with a bit of a plot summary. I'm Harry, the host with the most cereal in my kitchen.
It shows, yeah.
And joining me as always, the host with the most chance of being murdered by psychopathic suburban housewives is John Lucas.
Or his podcast co-host.
Well, yeah. It's any day now, any day. So, Serial Mom, what do you think?
Yes. Well, I chose it. So,
Yeah.
no, I love this film. This is an all-time camp classic for me. I think it's fantastic.
Oh, yeah, this was a great time.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that it has its own sequel built into it.
Kind of, yeah.
Because I was like, okay, I could see where this could go. Oh, it went there. Oh, great.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Well, there goes my idea.
Yeah.
When did you first watch it?
Oh, I remember in childhood. Probably a touch too young. This is one that was probably on like late night on Channel 4.
Some of it is somewhat gory.
It's very gory.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten that there are some really gory bits, like mostly bits that just sample other horror movies, the glorious bits. But it has its moments. But
Annie,
yes, of course, yeah, definitely a horror movie. It's ginger kids, but yeah, I feel like this is one of those films that you watch. And I remember watching this as a kid and like feeling like naughty for watching it. Like, oh, I shouldn't be watching this. This is so naughty and it's so transgressive. And now you watch it, it's just a big old camp load of nonsense. But yeah, I remember it fondly for that. And, yeah, it's just great. It's so quotable. It's got so many great lines. Like,
yeah, totally. What's your favourite bit?
Oh, obviously, Pussy Willows. Are those Pussy Willows? What did you say? Pussy Willows, Daddy. I cannot hear the phrase. I mean, it's a pretty funny phrase anyway, but I cannot hear the phrase Pussy Willows without breaking into laughter just because it makes me look at this film. Like,
How often does that come up?
sometimes you're in a garden centre. It happens.
Okay. Sure.
Not like every day, but occasionally,
Okay. I'm not sure if I've ever heard of a Pussy Willow.
It's a real thing. It's a plant, I think, like a flower, yeah.
But also well done on the great impression you just did there as well.
Thank you.
She's got a great voice in this.
She does. She is amazing.
Is this her
film.
putting on a voice? I don't actually know her very well.
No, I mean she's doing a lot of voices because she's got her like normal happy 50s mom voice, and then obviously the voice she does when she's doing the prank calls is just amazing. So she's doing a lot of voice work, but I think the bass voice is pretty much her voice. She does have a very deep voice. She's also Kathleen Turner's done loads of stuff, but she's also very famous. She did the voice of Jessica Rabbit in the Roger Rabbit movie.
Oh right.
You know, the really sexy cartoon that everyone really fancies.
Yeah.
I'm not bad. I'm drawn that way.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
So she's famously got a very sexy, sultry voice, so which also sounds very funny when she's saying things like "Pussy Willows," "Pussy Willows, darling."
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Are those Pussy Willows? Dried ones. Aren't they pretty?
What did you just say?
Pussy Willows, Dottie.
Do you want to do a plot summary?
Sure, yeah. Let me ask it. So, Serial Mom, it was released, I can't remember what year it was released, but sometime in the 90s, I think.
95, I think.
90 for the sounds about right, 95, yeah. Directed by John Waters. I think this is our first John Waters movie.
I think so.
Because it's kind of, I love his films, but they can be a tough sell sometimes. Like, this is one of his most mainstream ones. A lot of his other ones are even more like bad taste than this.
Right.
You know, like the famous one is Pink Flamingos, where Divine, the drag queen, eats actual dog shit on screen. So you know.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've considered doing that from time to time, but then I don't know if you
Eating
didn't.
dog shit.
Well, that's just a Tuesday for me, you know. No, doing the film maybe, or female trouble, but they're all like very low budget, kind of quite twisted. So they're not for everyone, but this is probably one of his most mainstream ones. So I thought this is a good entry point for John Waters. And we did But I'm a Cheerleader last week, and that film obviously very much kind of inspired by this, I would say, and other John Waters films, even to the point where there's an actor the same in it, because the lady who plays Dottie is also the mother in It's Our Cheerleader. So there's a crossover there.
Yeah.
So yes, this was released in the mid-90s, directed by John Waters. It stars Kathleen Turner as Beverly Sutphin. She is the quintessential happy housewife. Her house is like, she's in the 1950s. She's living her entire life in the 1950s, but her kids are very much in the 1990s.
Yeah.
Because she's got a son and a daughter, Ricki Lake and Matthew Lillard. And actually, this must be earlier than the mid-90s, because Ricki Lake is very young in this. So maybe this is the 80s.
I could swear it was 95.
Really? Because I feel like Ricki Lake already had a TV show by then.
94?
Oh, right, okay.
According to IMDb.
Fair enough. I stand corrected.
Unless it's like a re-release or something, but...
No, it was only because Ricki Lake seems so young, but I guess she is quite young. Or wasn't
born in 1968. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so she would have been out 20. Yeah, okay, fair enough. That tracks. Right?
Yeah.
I think Ricki Lake got a chat show when she was quite young, and I always think of her as being older, but never mind. Anyway, so yeah, she has these two kids. You don't even know who Ricki Lake is, do you?
No.
She had a very famous chat show in the 90s.
Right, okay.
Like, go Ricki, go Ricki, go Ricki. No, nothing.
No.
Never mind. Anyway, so yes, she's this quintessential happy housewife with this beautiful, comedically. It's like her. I read a review that said her house is like a cereal commercial.
Yes.
It's that wholesome and sweet, and she's always got a baked pie in her hands, and there's birds that are all singing, and everything's great.
Yeah.
Except she does have a tendency to kill people.
Yep.
And we get that straight away. Well, not people, but we get that straight away when her family are having a conversation over the breakfast table, and she's serving them these lovely breakfasts, and she gets very distracted by a fly.
You're quite entertaining on this.
It's really, the physical comedy for the whole film, she's amazing. She's so funny to watch when she's just kind of having half a conversation while also plotting how to kill her next victim. And it starts with this fly.
Yeah.
And you really see the fly landing on all the food and the drinks. It's pretty gross. And you really see her like waiting for a moment, and then just when the moment's right, she swats it, and you get a full close-up on this bloodied, broken fly corpse.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
No. Well,
I had to look away
Oh,
because
bless
the camera really paused on it. And I'm not afraid of it like a dead fly or something, but like I can see like its wings and its bits and stuff, and like I don't want to look at this for too long. And the film really hesitates.
I think the film does that a lot with all the gross stuff. It really makes you look.
The other stuff was always funny enough that and sort of unrealistic enough that it was all right.
Yeah.
But this one is like, this just looks like a dead fly. I don't like it.
Yeah. Well, actually, this might cheer you up a little bit. The National Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals wouldn't let them kill a real fly. So it's actually had to make a fake dead fly.
I was actually going to ask.
Yeah. So you can't even kill a fly. But
yeah. I mean, I get it because where's the line?
I guess that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so she kills the fly. And her family, you see her family like exchanged worried glances, like, "Damn, that was brutal."
Because she does it it's onto like a white napkin or something.
Yeah.
So it's very stark. Like that's where the dead fly is.
Yeah,
it's on this big white thing that's gonna need cleaning, and she just walks off.
She doesn't even scrape it off. I know. Yeah. It's like she's done what she wanted to do.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the police arrive. And it turns out they're investigating some obscene phone calls that are being directed at one of her neighbours, Dottie Hinkle. I love the names of this. They're so good.
Oh, yeah.
She's getting these obscene phone calls and also letters with like magazine cuttings cut out, just saying like, cocksucker, die bitch, just classic abuse. And of course, Kathleen Turner Beverly is horrified. She's like, oh, how dreadful! I could never imagine. I've never even said the P word out loud. Like she's incredibly, she's like sickly sweet. And then there's also a bit where she sees the birds and she's like, life doesn't have to be horrible, officers. Look at those beautiful birds outside. Listen to them singing.
Yeah.
Cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. Like she's already fully insane. But like, but like not in a murderous way that you can tell. So they're all like,
I love how they come back to the fact that she really likes birds.
yes, that.
I love it when they come back to it. It's so great.
It's fantastic, yeah. But I like, I love all the scenes when other people just like exchange sideways glances, like this bitch is crazy.
Yeah, because like for that one, I forget who it is, if it's anyone important, but like she's spying on her neighbors basically, and sees two of them eating chicken, or eating roast chicken or something, and then she just brings it on herself to just go murder them because of that. And Louise gets really confused, like, so what, is she vegetarian? Did they say they're vegetarian but they're not really? And I was like, no, she likes birds. Oh, okay. It's like it doesn't make any sense. It's completely random.
No, she's very easily triggered into the murderous rage. I don't think there's a whole lot of logic behind it. Like, bad manners seems to be the main thing for her. Yeah. And then the bird thing sets her off as well.
I was thinking, like, is it because they're not using cutlery or something?
Well, I think they'd already pissed her off because they ruined her Sunday morning. Because they called they're the same couple who called her husband into the dentistry on the Sunday morning. So I think she'd already decided, well, they've got to go. Yeah. And then the bird thing just tipped her over the edge. Yeah. But that's later anyway. Yeah. So.
Well, I mean, it's one of those bits that's just like a chapter in it.
Well, this film, the plot is pretty one-dimensional.
Exactly.
There's not really, you can't really spoil this film. It's just a series of comedic scenes.
Exactly. We've now given the intro. It's now just murder by murder.
Pretty much, yeah. So she's obviously pretending to be incredibly horrified about this obscene phone call that's happening to her neighbor, and she denies all knowledge, of course. But we very quickly then discover that the calls were, of course, coming from her. Yeah. You get such an amazing scene of her sat on her bed after all her family have gone out to school and to work for the day. And she just sits on the end of the bed and picks up the phone and she calls up Dottie Hinkle. And just this voice is so good. Is this the cocksucker residence? And she just she's having so much fun. It's that thing that really makes it is her absolute glee in these things compared to like her normal sweet as apple pie persona. This like transformation, she's having so much fun. It's really good. Yeah. I love how she fakes her out and she hangs up and then calls back again and pretends to be the phone company. Yeah. She's like,
have you been receiving some fake calls? Can you tell me what they are saying? And I'm sorry, but I will need you to say exactly what was being said.
Yeah. Wash your filthy mouth, you whore! It's so good. Oh my god.
Hello?
Is this the cocksucker residence?
God damn you, stop calling here!
Isn't this 4215 Pussy Way?
You bitch!
Now let me check the zip code. 212, fuck you!
The police are tracing this call this very minute.
Well, Dottie Hinkle, then why aren't they here, huh, fuckface?
Fuck you! Didn't I just say fuck you?
I beg your pardon.
Who is this?
Mrs. Wilson from the telephone company. I understand you're having problems with an obscene phone caller.
Yes, I am. I'm sorry, Mrs. Wilson, but this is driving me crazy. I've had my number changed twice already. I'm a divorced woman. Please help me.
What exactly does this sick individual say to you?
I can't say the words out loud. I don't use bad language.
Oh, well, I know it's difficult, but we need to know the exact words.
I'll try. Cocksucker, that's what she calls me.
Listen to you filthy mouth, you fucking whore!
God damn you!
Yeah, and we get our first flashback as to her motivations as well. She kind of flashes back and we realize the reason she's tormenting this neighbor is because this neighbor did cut her off in the supermarket. Like she stole her parking space. And there's
I love the flashback.
Yeah. And that's all it took. And now that's it. I mean, she got off easy. She didn't get murdered. But she's working her way up to murder, but that was it. She's a marked woman. So she's been waging this war ever since. Yeah. And then her next victim is her son's maths teacher. So yeah, her son, Matthew Lillard, he's kind of he works in a video store, like a VHS store. Yeah. It's the 90s. They exist. And he's kind of a bit of a horror movie obsessive. He loves watching really disturbing horror movies, of which we see some... Like you had to turn away from The Fly. I had to turn away from that first horror movie. The one with
the tongue out?
The tongue being pulled out, that was too much for me. I can't... I don't like stuff with tongues for some reason. It really ekes me out. I don't know why.
Okay, sure.
But Kathleen Turner loves it.
Yeah.
I like how she also loves the horror movies.
Yeah.
She's like,
yeah,
not
yeah,
into
yeah.
it,
I like how, like, downstairs, she's got this whole 50s housewife aesthetic, but then she's fully supportive of her son being right into horror movies.
Yeah. Maybe like there's downstairs and upstairs. But her, like,
I guess, yeah.
persona completely changes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. But anyway,
I mean, you wouldn't see the 50s housewife having sex like she does.
well, exactly. Yeah. That's. We'll get into that scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like a parent-teacher night or something, and her son's maths tutor kind of says, "Oh, he's an okay student, but he's got a disturbing fascination with extreme gory horror movies and." Kind of questions whether we might be disturbed, and also questions her parenting. It's like, usually this is because of there's some kind of bad parenting in the house, and she does not take that well at all. Like, and then we cut to her in the car, and she gives him a nice little wave. Yeah, gives him a nice little wave, in that very maternal way, and then she just slams on the accelerator and just runs him down, runs his ass down, and then backs back over him again.
Yeah,
with such pleasure, so enjoying herself. And the only person who sees her is like a stoner kid. Yeah. Who's just watching this madness unfold and then just kind of looks at the blunt and is like, what the fuck?
Yeah. What am I smoking? Yeah.
Beverly makes no attempt whatsoever to hide her crimes. It's
No.
It's amazing how she just kind of does it and doesn't make any effort to cover her tracks at all. It makes it all the funnier when when it takes her so long to get caught, because she's just doing it in the open. Really.
Yeah, especially as like it gets to the point where everyone knows.
Yeah.
And they're just waiting for her to do something.
Yeah.
And like it's just great.
So then she goes back home again, and that night the news breaks that the local teacher's been murdered, and obviously it's a big story in the town, and the police come around again. But she's kind of immediately a suspect because her car has been identified, but also she's kind of not because no one thinks she'd really do it. And the only person who's seen it is the stoner kid, and nobody really takes her testimony seriously. So she's kind of off the hook for now. Not that she waits too long before committing her next murder. But that night, her and her husband, who's played by Sam Waterston, they have a very, very athletic, slightly painful looking sex.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's like...
I'm glad I'm not him.
No, yeah, I think he would be. Yeah, because he's on top, so it's missionary, but she's like somehow pounding him from the bottom.
Yeah, yeah.
Because she's the one, he's just kind of riding the ride.
Yeah, he's just there.
And she's just like...
she's doing all the work.
Thrusting and in the most aggressive... It's like, I can't even imagine how that would work. But it's...
Yeah, no, not a fan of that.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, it was.
And I love that she's...
I love the kids' reactions.
The kids are in the... Yeah, it's every kid's worst nightmare hearing their parents having sex anyway, but hearing them have that kind of sex, that's next level. And then I think the next day it's Sunday, and she's planning to have a nice Sunday morning of bird watching with her husband. She loves bird watching. It's her favorite thing, apart from killing. But then her plans are kind of spoiled when some other neighbors call up and demand that her husband go into his dentist practice to do an emergency operation on a guy's like loose filling or something. Yeah. And so once again, she pretends she's fine with it, but then the dark cloud descends and I'm going to kill you face. Yeah. But she kind of puts that one to one side for now. She doesn't really do that for like another half of the movie. But they're on the list for sure. But then she goes over to visit Dottie, the lady who's being abused, and also her other neighbor, her nosy neighbor, Rosemary, who's like your quintessential nosy, gossipy kind of neighbor. Yeah. And this is when we get the amazing Pussy Willows scene. So it's like she's doing it behind Rosemary's back, so Dottie knows it's her, but Rosemary thinks she's innocent. She just knows that the word is going to be the giveaway because of the voice. She goes, are those Pussy Willows, Rosemary? And just the sound of the word pussy makes Dottie realize, oh my God, it's you. She goes, what did you say? Pussy Willows, Daddy. And then she just smashes a Fabergé egg just out of pure spite. Like,
yeah, that's not even hers.
Not even hers. It's just to get her in trouble with the other lady. And then she kind of and then she's like, "Oh, you're so clumsy." And she takes the other lady out to the market to get a new Fabergé egg and leaves Dottie behind. And Dottie's like, "But it's her. It's her. She's the one. She did it." Yeah. I'd love to be this badly behaved. I'd maybe stop short of murder, but to be able to get away with being this evil.
You wouldn't get away with it, John.
I know.
No, you're way too obvious.
I know. But she's not exactly covering it.
What did you just say?
Pussy Willows, Dottie.
Oh my goodness! What are you doing?
I didn't do it! My Franklin Mint Fabergé egg!
Dottie didn't mean to be such a clumsy ox. You're sorry, aren't you, Dottie?
Rosemary, I did not break your egg. She did.
Dottie, you could at least apologize. I collect Franklin Mint.
Well, we'll go right to the antique market and we'll find you another one. Now, Misty tells me there's a whole booth filled with Franklin Mint stuff. But, Dottie, you lock up, won't you? But I'll take care of poor Rosemary.
But I heard her voice. It's her.
So she takes Rosemary to the flea market, which is where her daughter Ricki Lake kind of works on the weekends. And while she's there, she spots her daughter's kind of deadbeat boyfriend, Carl.
Yeah, sort of ex-boyfriend.
I think he dumped her that morning or stood her up that morning.
Something like that. And he's already with a new girl.
Literally played by a porn star. So that's
Right,
that's
okay.
the vibe they're going for. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Tracy Lords was a very famous porn star in the 80s. So so she spots her daughter's ex-boyfriend with this new floozy, and once again she decides that's it. He's got to go. Follows him into the men's room with a poker that her friend Rosemary has purchased from the market, and she just impales him from behind.
Yep.
In the back, through the back with this poker, pulls the poker out, and his liver,
Something,
some kind of organ is like just flapping about on the end of it. It's so. I didn't find this too gross. This was more comedic, like cartoon.
Because it's hilarious the way
so
they do
ridiculous,
it. Yeah.
And like the fact that she's really grossed out by it. Like she's just killed multiple people with absolute no remorse. But this flapping liver thing, she's just like ew, ew, ew. She doesn't want to get the blood on her or anything. So.
Yeah.
The little dance she does again is fantastic. So then she leaves him. She flushes the toilet and just over his head and just leaves his corpse in the urinal basically. And then obviously it takes a matter of minutes before the body's discovered.
I mean, I don't think that he would have died in this. And this is a running theme throughout this.
A lot of them do seem to die when they probably just would be seriously injured, or they die more slowly.
Yeah, like this one it's like he's been stabbed through the heart. Like he dies straight away.
Yeah.
But he's been stabbed in the lower back.
Yeah.
And sure, that's going to be.
I mean, his liver is on a spike outside of his body, Harry. That's probably
sure. Yeah, I'm sure it's a pretty serious thing. But like, at that point, would you not just be in like loads of pain and like probably paralyzed from the waist down and stuff, or would you just die straight away?
I mean, this movie is a cartoon. It's a very
I
violent
know.
cartoon. It's like South Park. You don't really want to think too much about how the physicality of how people die. It's not really. It's not that kind of movie. No. So he's dead, and he obviously it takes only a matter of minutes before his body is discovered, and she's just like again not trying to get away with anything. Well, she's not. She's not trying to escape from the scene of the crime. She just kind of like wanders back, and then obviously the news breaks, and her daughter.
You have actually skipped over the witness in this scene.
Oh, the guy hiding in the toilet.
Yeah,
it's great. There's always something going on. Yeah.
It took me a while before I realized what was actually going on with this. I like no. It's not that I didn't realize. It didn't like
Connect
go in
your brain.
Yeah, I didn't connect it all up like what was going on until like hours later. So explain it.
Well, there's a dirty old man in the toilets using a glory hole. Yeah, basically. But he spies through the glory hole, hoping to get some dick.
Yep.
And instead, he accidentally spots Kathleen Turner measuring up her murder in poker.
Yeah,
mere moments before.
Yeah, just like getting herself psyched up for it.
Yeah. And he doesn't stick around. He's like, this. I'm out of this.
Yeah.
This isn't my problem.
Yeah.
He just runs away. Yeah. But he will come back later.
Yes, definitely.
In another classic scene. Yeah, so then obviously the murder comes out and her daughter runs up and goes, "Oh my God, Mom, Carl's been killed." And she goes, "Oh, that's awful. Look at this Fabergé egg." Not bothered in the slightest. That's all. She's like, "Well, you got your wish, dear." Because when the daughter was stood up, I think she said like, "Oh, I wish he was dead." Like, in that very teenage way. But her mother's taken that very literally. And, so now the suspicion is squarely on Beverly at this point, because also the neighbor Rosemary, she spots the blood on her shoe and she feels the gore on the poker, and so she's like, "Oh my God." She puts 2 and 2 together and makes 4. She tells the police. So now the police are like actively following her around.
Yeah.
And even her family are like, "Oh my God." Ricki Lake says, "I think our mom is Charles Manson." So that all the family are like really nervous, and there's this hilarious kind of uncomfortable, awkward family dinner where she's just merrily, blithely serving her cooked pot roast food and everything, and they're all just like, "Oh my God, don't piss her off, don't piss her off."
Yep.
And then Matthew Lillard says something like, "Hey, Scotty," who's like another kid another friend of theirs. They've got this friend Scotty who like is this little teenager who loves porn and he doesn't wear his seatbelt. They're the 2 things we know about Scotty.
Yeah.
She's like, "Hey, Mum, Scotty thinks you're the killer." And she kind of goes, oh, well, for someone who never wears his seatbelt, Scotty should mind his own business. If you'd excuse me. And then she just literally just like walks, gets off the table, walks out the door, and you just hear the car going like, and just pulling away. That sound will never not be funny to me when that happens.
It's great. And then we get into a car chase from there, don't we?
No, that's later. She doesn't actually kill Scotty till later because they think she's going to kill Scotty because obviously, when they realize she's left the house, they all race over to Scotty's. But it turns out she's actually gone to kill the older couple who had called her husband to the dentist earlier that morning.
Right, yeah.
So they all race to Scotty's, and Scotty's in his bedroom watching hilarious giant boob porn, like very giant boob porn. I'm sure it's a thing, clearly. But and he's masturbating with the same kind of energy that she was having sex with her husband earlier in the film. Like,
Again, it's a cartoon.
it's very cartoonish. Yeah, it's great. But he's like furiously masturbating, and then the family burst in at the exact moment he's clearly about to finish, and then so he screams and he jumps up, and then the police run in and point guns at him, and it's just every teenage wanker's nightmare.
Yeah.
Every wanker's nightmare. Period. I guess.
Yeah.
And but she's not there. It's a false alarm. So while they've been following the false trail of Scotty, she's actually gone round to this couple, this kind of middle-aged couple, who she kind of stares through the window and sees that they're eating roast bird of some description. And she has her flashback to the birds in the garden. And I don't think it's implying that they've eaten the garden birds.
No, definitely not.
That seems extreme.
Yeah, they're just having roast chicken.
They're just having a roast chicken, or it looks more like it might be like quail or something, though.
I don't know.
It looks like smaller, but I don't know. But anyway, it sets her off. And she hides in the closet of the house. Doesn't show you how she gets in. Doesn't matter. No. The woman goes upstairs, opens the closet, and she's just there with scissors in her hands and just kind of like smiles, stabs her in the stomach. Again, the woman just does a very melodramatic like death scene.
Yep.
I love to watch.
From a stab in the stomach.
Stab in the stomach, just kind of like going like, oh no, just just screaming and rolling and
Yeah. Again, not an instant death.
No, but whatever. And then the husband comes up the stairs, sees his wife dead, and then Beverly just kind of flings the scissors towards his head, but he manages to dodge them and he runs downstairs. She flings those scissors like they're darts. Like her power is amazing. They always like stick into the wall or something. They never just bounce off. But he manages to escape multiple times. But then when he does get out the house, he makes the mistake of just like standing in the very wrong spot, just like somebody help me, like.
And she takes ages to like
She's
dislodge
very
the air
he's running around
unit.
like a chicken in the shade of this TV that she's ever so slowly
Air
pushing.
conditioning unit.
Oh, it's an air conditioning unit.
That's why it's in the window.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah.
So are they just like wedged into a window the whole time?
Yeah, that's how Americans do it. It's weird.
I just thought she'd like picked up a TV, which would have again shown incredible strength, I guess, but did not know that. Okay, we don't really have those here.
No.
So yeah, she pushes the air conditioning unit out of the window and squashes him like a Looney Tune. It is like the piano on the on Bugs Bunny or something. Yeah basically. So he's dead. She's killed again, but because she didn't kill Scotty, the family think, oh, we must have misjudged her. Maybe she's not the killer. We're being crazy. She's our mom. She's not a killer.
Yeah.
So they're briefly happy again, but then the next day it breaks that the older couple have also been found dead, murdered, and I think they find out while they're in the car to church, right? So it's the next day.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
They're all driving to church. So I guess it's Sunday again. I don't know. Time is unclear in this film. But they're all driving to church, and on the radio it breaks that another couple have been found murdered, and the prime suspect is Beverly Sutphin.
Yeah.
And there's also like a comedically long like train of police cars just like ever so slowly following the car.
I loved it because I just knew that like they would have had to hire all those police cars.
Oh yeah.
Like they're probably all real cops.
Yeah.
Like I just love the extremity of it.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. Yeah.
Especially when they start like all going through a traffic light. It's like they're not all getting through.
Yep. it's a very unpractical way to stalk someone you're about to arrest. But, So anyway, they get to church, and the family are once again convinced that she's the killer, and basically everyone in the congregation is like shit scared of her, but nobody says anything. It's all really awkward, and so everyone's like giving her the side eye, and like everyone's incredibly on edge. And then in the middle of the sermon, she sneezes.
Well, no, first you've got to talk about what the sermon was.
Oh, the sermon was about the death penalty.
Yeah,
right?
Capital punishment. Do it.
Yeah, it's like Jesus would never said anything about capital punishments. There you go. We should kill everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Jesus said nothing to condemn capital punishment as he hung on the cross, did he? If ever there was a time to go on record against the death penalty, Wasn't it that night? Capital punishment is already the law in the state of Maryland. So what are we waiting for, fellow Christians? Let's just do it.
But yeah, and then in the middle of like the prayer, the silent prayer, she sneezes on a baby. And again, she fully sneezes on a baby. Like
It's a horrible sneeze.
it is. I mean, there's literally snot just lands on a baby's face. I love that they went there.
Yeah, yeah.
And that causes like a mass panic. Like that causes screaming, and then suddenly the entire church, all the tension just breaks, and they're all running around, and there's like a punch up. Everyone's panicked, and she just kind of escapes in all the confusion. She just races out to the back. And her son, Matthew Lillard, and his girlfriend, Birdie, they rescue her. They put her into the back of the car and they take her to hide her in their video game store. Because I guess they know that she's the killer now, but they're just kind of okay with it.
Well, they think it's really cool because they're properly into horror movies.
Yeah. So they're like fans.
And like, there's also a whole subplot with like who's going to play her.
Yeah.
And who do they get again?
Suzanne Summers. She was a TV star in the 70s. So,
Yeah, so they get like actual Suzanne Summers to come in for a few different bits here, and
yeah. Well, that's in the courthouse though. So first they hide
that's why
her.
they talk about it beforehand.
I think they're talking about who might play her,
Right.
and then she turns up.
Okay,
in the film.
cool.
But no, they hide her in the video store in the back room, but she just can't resist killing again because while they're in the video store, she hides in the back and he's like serving a customer, and there's a very rude customer who refuses to be kind and rewind.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause you're supposed to rewind. You had to back in the day when you had to rent VHSs, you were supposed to rewind them before you handed them back in, so the next customer wouldn't have to. It's just common courtesy. But this woman's like, I don't want to, you little shit. Like,
Yeah.
And so she immediately just like breaks out of the video store. Like they go to look for her. Like, oh no, she's gone again. Crap. She goes to this old lady's house. This old lady has rented Annie, the classic musical.
Yeah.
She's also got a dog that she really likes it when the dog licks her feet.
Yeah. Like alarmingly so.
An alarming amount, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if her feet's the only place that this dog has licked. I'm not convinced. Like,
Let's not go there.
let's not dig too deep into that. But
Yeah.
it's probably on the uncut version.
But I love this scene because she's made like a leg of lamb.
It's a leg of lamb, yeah.
And sort of taking ages to like make that, and then she cuts off the smallest bit, puts it between two slices of bread, and then brings it to the other room, and then just slowly eats that sandwich while watching her favorite film, Annie.
Yeah.
Which she doesn't own. She has to rent.
Just to rent,
even though
yeah.
she knows all the words.
Sure. Well, who doesn't know the words to Tomorrow? It's a
Well,
classic,
yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Of course, you would have noticed the portion control in that scene. That's you thing to pick up on. Like.
A whole leg of lamb for what?
I know, yeah. Wasted.
Yeah.
Wasted. Well, it doesn't go to waste. That lamb gets well used.
Yes,
it's not the way she intended.
No.
So yeah, Beverly sneaks into this old lady's house, and she initially contemplates stabbing the old lady. So she's like creeping up behind her with a giant carving knife, while the lady's just merrily sat in her armchair singing Tomorrow at the top of her lungs. But then Beverly has a better idea. She goes back. She puts the knife back in the kitchen. She cuts it off for the dog and feeds the dog. And then she grabs the leg of lamb in its entirety and just bludgeons this woman to death with it.
Yeah.
Bludgeons the woman to death with a leg of lamb, which is a great way to kill someone.
Yeah. Now, I don't know how solid meat is. Could that work?
I feel like if it looks pretty well done.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like you could. It's that hefty. Probably better freezing it, but
Freezing it.
and then it's
Yeah.
more of a blunt weapon.
Yeah.
But I think it's doable. Yeah.
All right. Sure.
Try it someday. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm glad I'm
I
vegetarian.
was gonna say it'd be an ironic way to finish you off.
Yeah.
Just beat you to death with a leg of lamb.
Yeah.
It wouldn't not really the same with like a bag of couscous or something, is it? I don't know.
No, not really.
There is an episode of Midsummer Murders where Martine McCutcheon gets crushed to death by a giant wheel of cheese. I
Brilliant.
feel like that'd be a good way for you to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Death by cheese.
Death
Sounds
by
good.
cheese. That sounds like fair. What you would have wanted. Yeah. Anyway, so she bludgeons that lady to death, but Scotty, the kid who they thought she was going to kill before, he's like on the next roof and he sees her do the killing, and then she sees him, and now she's like, okay, now he definitely has to die.
Yeah.
So now she starts chasing Scotty, and this is when the chase is, and she proper pelts. Like there's a scene where she's just pelting after him with the giant carving knife, and it's like, damn, Kathleen Turner can run. Like she's running like a bloody marathon runner, like really like pounding after him.
Yep.
Then it becomes a car chase scene. He jumps into his car and she jumps on the roof and she's like, wear your seatbelt, it's the law. Okay. And then she's driving out. She like hijacks a truck or something and starts chasing after him. And they're doing a full chase scene, and there's police chasing as well. It's the whole thing. And I love how the family are driving around trying to find her.
Yeah.
I'm like, where could she be? And then they see Scotty's car race past them, and then they see her in the van race past, and she just in the window just kind of gives a little wave and then carries on, like just doesn't even slow down, but just that little family wave she does is just always tickles me.
Yeah.
So she ends up chasing Scotty inexplicably into a rock and roll club, which is playing a full punk gig, even though it seems like it's probably about noon, because they can't have been in church more than like an hour ago.
I guess
a lot's happened, but
Yeah,
basically, but whatever. There's a big punk rock band. I think it's L7 playing a gig in this.
The band was actually called Camel Lips.
Camel Lips, nice. Okay, cool.
Classy.
Gives you an idea of the kind of music they're making, I think. Sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, they break into Scotty tries to hide in the rock club, but then she is allowed in because everyone there is a super fan of Serial Mom. Like everyone's really impressed by her. Like, oh my god, you're Serial Mom, come on in. Like the bouncer. It's like, wait, aren't you the serial killing mother?
Get in here.
Get in here, you crazy ass lady. Like everyone loves her. It's great. So she gets into the rock club and she kills Scotty. She sets fire to Scotty with a fire extinguisher and a match. Like she lights the gas and she sets him on fire. But then the punk rockers, they just like spit vodka at him and finish him off.
Yeah.
They're as responsible for his death as she is.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
they
absolutely.
fully kill him. But why? What did he ever do to them?
It's rock and roll, isn't it?
Rock and roll. Yeah, you get on stage. You get on stage with
You
rock
get on
and
stage on fire. No one's going to put you out. That's not rock and roll.
I'm sorry, you're right. I've not really. I've misunderstood what rock and roll is.
Rock and roll is danger.
It is. Okay, Harry. I didn't.
Somebody walks on stage when they're on fire, you spit on them.
Okay, well.
Rock and roll.
Last time I go to a gig with you. So yeah, poor Scotty's dead, but then she does finally get arrested. Like, there's no way out now. So she gets arrested, and then we cut to the courthouse scene, the inevitable trial of Beverly Sutphin now.
Yeah. Like 6 months later or something.
3 months later or something, yeah. And she's like a national media sensation. And like, this is when we learn that there's going to be a movie about her and everyone still loves her. And it's like the more murders she's done, the more famous she's become and the more beloved she's become kind of thing. And yeah, she ends up representing herself. She fires her lawyer because her lawyer tries to get her off by reason of insanity. She's like, he's like, obviously she did it. Clearly she did it.
Yeah.
But she's insane.
Yeah.
But she wants to fully get off. So she's not having any of that. So she fires the lawyer and chooses to represent herself. And then she just kind of hilariously antagonizes all of the witnesses.
She does it so well.
She really gaslights them also. Well, she gaslights Dottie into screaming at her. So to kind of make herself look a little bit less believable.
To make her look like the insane one.
She makes all the other witnesses look like they're insane. So I think she makes Beverly and Dottie both confess, even though they didn't do it. And then she's got the pervert from the glory hole. He's obviously the key witness to Carl's murder. Yeah. And then she does the Sharon Stone in Basic Instinct thing under the table. And this is one of the funniest things. The way she does it, like, have you seen Basic Instinct?
No,
I don't think you have. I'd love to do it because it's so wild, but it's got a sequel. But the famous scene in that is when Sharon Stone is being questioned by the police and she does a leg cross and it shows that she's got nothing on and so she's basically flat. But it's like, it's very quick and it's just kind of like one leg. It's just like, did I see it or did I not? And it's it's sexy because you don't know if you've seen it. It was like an iconic film scene when it came out. This, on the other hand, this is just so she is just like legs akimbo.
Don't do it. Because the audience won't know. All you're doing is making me awkward. Don't do it, John. Stop it.
I'm wearing shorts. How much do you think you're going to see? Unless they split, it's fine.
Anyway, what are you talking about?
So she does this hilarious Basic Instinct Sharon Stone legs akimbo to distract him. And he basically, denies all knowledge. He's like, I didn't see anything. You told me to say that. Well, just give me more. Like, it's great. It's absolutely hilarious. Yeah, and she gets off. Yeah, she is acquitted of all crimes. The whole courthouse erupts. She's a national hero. And just as she's walking out the courthouse. As she's walking the court, she can't even get outside of the court without doing another murder. Yeah, because she's spotted that one of the jurors is wearing white shoes after Labor Day, which is a big fashion no-no.
Sure.
Yeah.
No idea what any of that means. But
Labor Day is like a national holiday in America. Back in the way back in the day, I think you weren't supposed to wear white after Labor Day. It was like just an etiquette kind of thing. Okay. So she goes into the.
What time of year is Labor Day? Because I assume it's like until the end of the year or something.
I guess I don't really know. I feel like it's an autumn holiday, like a fall holiday. So.
Surely it must be. So
it's probably only a few months. Yeah. So I don't think I think that's the joke. Nobody really obeys this. Like because she goes into the toilet and she goes, "You can't wear white shoes after Labor Day," and the lady's like, "Sure I can," and then she like he smashes her across the face with a phone handle, and then the woman like falls down bleeding. She's like, "Please no, fashion has changed." She's like, "Not in Baltimore, it hasn't." And then she like beats her to death.
Yeah.
It's great. So then she comes out of the toilet and she's with Suzanne Summers, the actress who's about to play her. And Suzanne Summers is like, "Hey, let's get a photo together." And she puts her. Beverly wants to be on one side, and Suzanne Summers grabs her and kind of forces her onto her other side.
Yeah.
And they're about to pose for the photo. And at that exact moment, the body is found. The body of the juror she's just murdered. And like the scream goes up. And then at the same moment, Beverly screams at Suzanne Summers. She goes, "Suzanne Summers, this is my bad side." It's a great final line for the film.
Yeah.
And then it just ends in the best way. It just ends with Suzanne Summers looking terrified. Kathleen Turner giving this like maniacal, like raised eyebrow grin, slow grin, and it just frees frame. And all it says is, "Beverly Sutphin did not cooperate in the making of this film."
Yeah.
That's it. Credits roll.
Because I loved it. Like at the start, it says like, "Yeah, some of the names of the people in this have been changed for safety reasons," and like, this is real. Nah.
No, it's absolutely not real. That's the thing. They make it look. They did a Fargo. They pretend it's real, but clearly it's not real.
Yeah. So ridiculous.
Yeah.
I kind of would love it if it was real.
Oh, sure. I mean, as long as nobody we knew was killed, sure. Yeah.
Well,
yeah. But yes, no. It's a good time. It's a good old camp romp.
Yeah.
Very quotable. Lots of fun. Yeah.
Can we get a shot of you and Suzanne Summers?
Absolutely, stand here, Beverly. Guys, would have been a nice two-shot, okay?
No, Suzanne, really,
no,
I do
Beverly,
much-
Beverly, stand right here. Okay, smile, Serial Mom.
Suzanne Summers, this is my bad side.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's that.
That
Good
was
choice.
Serial Mom. Thank you. Glad I chose that. I think that was a good one.
Yeah, do you want to do some drinking games?
Hit me, yeah.
So first I've got drink for a murder attempt.
Drink for a murder, even the ones that fail?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Because there are a few failures in this.
Yeah, you don't get more than 10 minutes without a murder, you're right. So it's a good one. Yep. I had drink every time you see Kathleen Turner's face of thunder, her "I'm going to fuck you up" face.
Yeah.
It's such a good face. And it's always a great transition from her happy smiley face to like the dead-eyed,
Yeah.
"I will kill you" face.
Yeah.
The scowl is amazing.
Drink every time somebody calls her serial mum.
Yes, yeah. Very good. More at the end of the movie, that would make you blind.
Yeah.
I mean, in the last 20 minutes, everyone just keeps calling out "Serial Mom, Serial Mom." So that would be very dangerous, but yeah, very good. Drink for gum.
Gum.
Gum. It's a running theme.
yeah.
It's a running theme that she hates gum,
Yeah.
and she doesn't like people chewing gum. And often you can tell someone's about to die because they've got some gum in their mouth. I like how when she runs down the teacher, the last thing you see is his like broken, shattered body, and then a chewed up bit of gum just pops out of his mouth, of his dead mouth.
Yeah. Drink anytime somebody suddenly believes.
What suddenly realizes that she's the killer?
Yeah.
Like the epiphany.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very good. Like like when Rosemary finds the bloodied poker, or when her daughter's like, "My mom's Charles Manson." Like,
Pussy Willows.
Pussy Willows is the best one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, definitely drink for foul language.
Definitely. Yeah, I got that. Yeah.
Drink for a swear word, or especially for pussy. Pussy or Pussy Willows.
Yeah. Drink for that Ted Bundy cameo.
Oh yes, that's a really funny thing. That's John Waters, the director, doing the voice of Ted Bundy. Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, because she's got all these books on. She's like reading books about birds, but then it shows that actually hidden inside there are all these books about serial killers. And then when her husband like starts to suspect that she might be the killer, he does he searches the bedroom and he finds all these hidden like letters from real serial killers. Like she's writing them in prison, and she's getting like tape messages from actual Ted Bundy. It's really funny.
Nice.
And his he doesn't have any lines in that scene. His facial expressions are hilarious. So good.
Yeah.
Beverly, it's me, Ted Bundy. It's late at night, 6 days before my execution, and it's lonely here on death row.
Drink for birds.
Sure.
Yeah. Drink every time you see the birds, and she references the birds.
Definitely. Drink for gore.
Yes, drink every time things get gory. You might have to,
including gore on screen.
Yeah, there's lots of there's clips of classic horror movies. You get a bit of Straight Jacket in there with Joan Crawford chopping off the heads. That's really funny.
Yeah, I've also got drink for movie references.
Movie references, yeah.
John Waters. There's a few bits here and there. There's what was that Glenn Close Goldie Hawn one?
Oh yeah. Oh, Death Becomes Her. Yeah, there's a
Us.
really big Death Becomes Her poster, which I also really enjoyed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, John Waters films are always filled with references. He's like that. So Yeah, that's a good time for sure. Drink every time she does her little wave. Her little, hi kids wave.
Yeah.
Always tickled me. Always made me laugh.
Yeah. Any more?
Drink every time she fixes her hair. There's lots of like just playing with her hair and like blowing it up because she's got this very like static mom helmet hair, which makes it even funnier.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. And just drink for 90s fashion. This movie has a lot of very 90s looks.
Nice.
Yeah. Very much enjoyed.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It's nice to watch a proper 90s film that just feels like it is just like a low budget older film, but it's like from a time that isn't so heavily nostalgic.
Sure, yeah.
If that makes sense. Like the 80s are just always fashionable.
Yeah.
But it's like, the 90s, I remember them. They were good. People don't talk about them as much.
Yeah, everyone's just got like a few too many zips. Why so many zips?
Yeah.
Stuff like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of denim, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, listeners, if you've enjoyed the episode so far and you think you might enjoy the second half, then
it could go either way. Yeah.
Then you can tell us how much you appreciate us by going to patreon.com/beyondtheboxset, where you can support me and John for as much or as little as you think we're worth. We don't do a tiered system, we do a pay-as-you-feel system, so no matter how much you think we're worth, you get everything, which is a bonus show called Beyond the Box Set, where we review recent releases. We're about to review In the Heights. I absolutely cannot wait. That's going to be a great time. I really, really enjoyed watching that in the cinema. 2.5 hours of my life that I will cherish forever.
I choose to take that literally. Good.
Great.
Can't wait for the sequel.
And then we also have A Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard out recently, which I believe is the film that John feels the same about.
Yeah, I didn't hate it that much.
Okay, sure. And of course, we'll have other films like Black Widow coming up soon.
Sure.
And,
who cares about that, though?
Whatever else is coming out this summer.
Yeah.
Actual movies for once.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Which is nice.
I'm enjoying it.
So,
I'm being back in the cinema.
So make sure you subscribe to hear all our thoughts on that. Also, if you do become a Patreon, you get other bonus things, such as a 30-second advert slot right here on the main show. You can talk about your own podcast, your own business, whatever you feel like chatting about. And also, once a month, we have a Patreon choose the episode for us here on the main show again. You can come and guest if you want to, or not. You can just have us talk about your favourite movie without you. It's your call. So all that is available at patreon.com/beyondtheboxset.
Indeed.
Bonjour tout le monde, I'm Finn, and every Tuesday I host a podcast called Passport People, in which I talk to people from around the world about the places that matter to them. What is so special about each location? What makes each place tick? Where are they headed? To join us on our round-the-world trip, talking to a diverse range of fascinating people from an incredible variety of professional and cultural backgrounds, search for Passport People in Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your podcasts.
All right. Sequels?
Sure.
What have you got?
Do you want me to go first? Sure. So my film is, predictably enough, set 30 years later.
Nice.
Present day. So I'm thinking...
2025? The future?
Oh, okay. Well, close enough. It doesn't really matter. Close enough. So it's present day, more or less.
Yeah.
And I think, predictably, Serial Mom absolutely did go back to prison. I think, it's pretty hard for her to not after the events of the end of the film. She's pretty clearly guilty. So she's been in prison for like 25 years, whatever. And she's locked away for life as one of the most, prolific serial killers of the area. But I'm thinking we open this film and her story attracts the attention of the ever popular true crime podcast.
Yes.
Serial.
Yes.
Do you remember that podcast Serial that did like murder investigations?
Yeah, briefly. I think that was
one of the first ones. Yeah,
that was my first sort of entrance into podcasting. I listened to like one episode of it and I was like, no, I don't like podcasts. This is stupid.
It's not for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never really stuck with Serial, but it was definitely one of the first truly popular podcasts. So maybe like this could be like set 5 years ago or something, like whenever, probably 10 years ago when Serial first became big. Because I'm thinking this could be like this series becomes a sensation, but it's about her basically. So the podcast Serial does a series on Beverly and how she was just a victim and basically tries to find a conspiracy theory that proves that she was actually innocent all the time. Like somebody else did all the murders. And the comedy in it would be that we know she obviously did it.
Yeah.
She clearly did it.
Yeah.
But this podcast, well-meaning though it may be, tries to kind of find a conspiracy theory that somebody else must have done it instead. And all these millions of listeners really buy into it and they're all like, justice for Beverly. And obviously Beverly, because she gets interviewed for the podcast, she totally plays along with it. Like, because she's like, she knows she's guilty, but as soon as she sees an opportunity, she completely buys into it. And so She gives a series of interviews with the podcast, which become these incredible media sensations. And there's just huge demand. The podcast is massive success, and there's huge demand for justice for Beverly. Free Beverly, all that's happening. There's a whole thing. And there's a mass campaign, and her original case is eventually reopened.
Okay.
And she's ultimately cleared of all charges based on the evidence discovered by the podcasters.
Right, sure. Well, like the original case, like in court, would only be for that juror that she killed at the end.
True, but they have to get her off from all of them.
Sure. Okay.
I was thinking they could do it where they could frame someone else from the cast. I was thinking it'd be really funny if they managed to frame Dottie.
Yeah.
Because poor Dottie suffers so much already.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she's the one who's getting all the prank calls.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, Dottie's like, it's been 30 years. Maybe we could open on Dottie as well, have her story, how she's, like, still in therapy. She's finally rebuilding her life after all these years of being abused by Beverly. She had to change her number and move away and do all this kind of stuff. And now, just as she's starting to get her life back together.
Every time someone says Pussy Willows, she cries.
She gets very triggered by that phrase. Yeah. She can't even go into a garden centre without breaking into sweats. So she's totally got her life back together. But then Beverly takes the podcast to try and pin it on her. And then all the conspiracy theories are that, Dottie set up Beverly. And then Dottie, unbeknownst to herself, becomes a national hate figure.
Right, yeah.
All these people who are obsessed with #Free Beverly are also #Kill Dottie. I don't know. And because she doesn't listen to podcasts, she doesn't even realize. It's just like suddenly people are in the streets are starting to hate her, and she doesn't know why. She's like, what's happened? And then only as time goes on, and she realizes that it's Beverly, and the nightmare for her begins again.
Yeah.
And ultimately, she's brought to trial. Beverly is exonerated, and then Dottie is sent down for life. So I think that could be like a really funny scene of the trial where kind of she's now the defendant and Beverly's giving evidence against her.
Yeah.
And again, Beverly can outwits her enough to make it look like she is the crazy one after all. And I think we definitely need a scene of Dottie being dragged kicking and screaming down from court into jail, probably screaming you bitch, you whore, you cock. So she's just
pussy.
You pussy. Yeah, she's just so mad, and then Beverly can just be smirking and probably for weeks afterwards, because when you're in prison you get one call a day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think Dottie gets her one call, and it's always Beverly, just abusing her.
That's so mean.
I know.
In prison,
she just won't let it go.
You go, well, she's down, why don't you?
Yeah, this is what she does. She's a vindictive bitch.
Yeah.
So Dottie has now been fully framed, and Beverly is a free woman.
Yeah.
Although her family are still pretty nervous around her because they all know that she did it.
Yeah.
So they're, the husband's like, I'm so glad we're reunited. Also very terrified. The kids are a bit, distant to say the least. But I'm thinking now that she's become the star of this podcast series and she's become a celebrated media figure, obviously in the 2010s, 2020s, whatever decade we're in at this point, there's only one route for someone like that, and that is reality television.
Of course.
Yeah. So then I'm thinking she could be cast on the new series of The Real Housewives.
Right, okay.
It could be The Real Housewives of Baltimore, because I think that's the city, that's where she is. So,
yeah.
But you know how I know you probably don't watch them, but you know what those series are, right? Like you've got The Real Housewives of New Jersey, New York, Orange County, and it's all just have you ever seen anything about these shows?
No.
They're all reality shows with awful women in them who are all middle-aged, and they all just have horrible fights, and they pull each other's weaves out, and they have fake. It's all very fake drama, It's like Big Brother to the Power of 10.
Is it like Queen of Jordan in 30 Rock?
Yes, Queen of Jordan is a parody of these shows. Yes.
Right, got it, yeah.
Yeah, it's that, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it literally is a parody of, all the wine, all the wine throwing, for more camera time. That's what they do. That is what those women do, yeah. So it's one of those shows, like Queen of Jordan, then, to bring it to Harry's level. But it's Beverly on the Queen of Jordan, with a bunch of other women, and there's all these fake fights, manipulated for reality TV. But then, just, of course, before long, her fellow housewives start dying in mysterious circumstances, being found murdered. And so then the mystery is it Beverly? Or is it a double bluff? Is it someone else making it look like Beverly? Is it too obvious that it's Beverly?
Yeah.
And so all these women, it could be because she's used to, whenever people feud with her back in the original film, anytime anyone crosses her in the slightest, it's well, you're dead, instantly.
Yeah.
And the whole thing of the Housewives franchise is that they're all built around these women having feuds and arguments. So, but they think when that happens, it's all reality TV staged, like I said, wig pulling and getting drunk, whatever. But obviously Beverly, she goes straight to murder. So when her opponents start being found dead, it's she didn't really get the memo, did she? That's not really the way these shows play out. But I'm thinking the film could like be a bit ambiguous as to whether it's her or whether it's not her. But whether it is or not, the ratings are through the roof because everyone's watching this show.
Yeah.
So the producers are very much invested in protecting her because she's such a good asset for them. So they hire the best lawyers money can buy, and they actually, when she's finally charged with murdering all the fellow housewives, they just rebrand the show as Beverly Sutphin Trial of the Century, and it becomes a reality show about her trial. Then it can be Beverly Sutphin Behind Bars. She gets sent back to jail. Then Beverly Sutphin The Fight for Justice, and then once again trying to get her out. And then eventually Beverly Sutphin Exonerated, and she's freed once again.
Nice.
And then she's back on the streets again.
Yeah.
That's kind of all I've got. I just really like the idea of being sucked into like the reality TV, because the whole original film was about how the media in the 90s was obsessed with killers and turned her into like a folk hero. So I like the idea of her being sucked into the reality TV cycle, and even though it's more and more obvious that she's the killer, she just keeps bouncing back because people just have an insatiable desire for that kind of media. But then I was thinking maybe it could be that she genuinely isn't the killer this time. Maybe it's someone else.
Okay, yeah.
All I could think of was her daughter.
Yeah.
Like, it could be like the apple didn't fall far from the tree, or maybe the daughter's like, she wants some attention now.
Yeah, I can't add that much because...
You've never seen Real Housewives, no? Sure. And you barely know who Ricki Lake is.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. The main thing is, I just like the idea of Beverly Sutphin, reality TV star.
Definitely.
So that was the Real Housewives of Baltimore, or Serial Mom Exonerated.
Yeah, I like, the second title's a better one.
Serial Mom Exonerated, That's a bit more catchy.
On brand.
On brand, exactly.
Yeah. But no, it's good. I like the Real Housewives take on
Even though you've never seen the Real Housewives.
Yeah, but I know Queen of Jordan.
Now you know Queen of Jordan. Yeah, so now you get the context. So,
sure. I like that. That's good.
Yeah. I want to see the Serial Mom throwing some wine. I think that could be a good time.
Yeah, that could be good. Right, should we get to mine?
Go for it.
So I've got 3 here, but they work as a trilogy.
Sure.
So we start off 20 years later or whatever. Kathleen Turner is now a grandmother.
Sure, makes sense. Oh, is this serial gran?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's not murdered anyone since that courthouse day in the 90s.
Did she get out?
Yeah, she got out free. Like she just maybe nobody accused her. Maybe everyone was just a bit too afraid to accuse her.
Sure. Okay.
Well, no one actually saw her do the murder.
Very true. Very true. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. There's photographic evidence of her with what's her name? Yeah.
Suzanne Summers.
With
I guess
Susan
that is a
Summers,
perfect
so,
alibi. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, oh no, I was just there with Susan Summers, and the rest of the press. Like, did you not see me?
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe someone else went down for that one.
Yeah. So anyway, she's not murdered anyone since the 90s, mainly for the sake of keeping her family together. Like maybe the husband actually like just gets some guts and just says like, no, we're going to have a happy family, and that's how it's going to be, and you're going to put this behind you.
So for the sake of her family, she puts her killing days behind her.
Basically, yes.
That's nice of her.
Yeah.
Very selfless, yeah.
So yeah, like 20 whatever years later, present day, doesn't really matter. Both her kids have grown up and left home, obviously, and her husband, he dies.
Oh, okay. Not of murder.
No,
just of old age.
Yeah,
sure.
just
fine.
Well, I've said he dies of fear of his wife.
Oh, okay.
But,
is he like? Do he spend the next 20 years just in constant terror that any slight thing he does, like if he?
Probably, yeah. Maybe the postman knocked on the door and he had a heart attack.
Sure, yeah. He's the most nervous man in the world.
Yeah,
that makes
something
sense.
like that. But either way, he dies.
Okay.
Now she's got nobody holding her back.
Ooh, she's a serial Black Widow.
Yeah. So that's an even better
That's a good
title.
one, yeah.
Yeah, and so suddenly some of the things that she's been ignoring, she can no longer put up with.
As in the thing she's been repressing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because she's been, I'm not allowed to do any murders, so, I'm just going to let this slide. But now she's allowed to do murders, so she's not going to let this slide.
Right.
So I've got 2 examples here, but we can definitely think of some more. So we got, maybe it's Dottie down at the Bridge Club, whatever. She's always struggled to dress herself properly. Okay. And so one day when she walks in with her blouse on back to front, she's getting old.
Sure, yeah.
She's got her blouse on back to front. Serial Granny stalks her until she's on her own and then shouts at her, "Your blouse is on back to front," and grabs her head, quickly twists it all the way around, breaking her neck.
Oh, okay.
There. Now, isn't that better? Quietly walks out and smiles when she hears screaming moments later.
Oh, dear.
Starts things like this.
Brutal, okay, yeah.
Another day, one of the other old ladies, call her Ethel for whatever reason, she brings in some crochet to the knitting club.
Okay.
Crochet is not knitting.
Oh, I see.
Knit needles to the throat for that one.
Oh wow. Okay. So is the idea that she's just killing old ladies, or is it just anyone?
Well, old ladies, she's an old lady herself.
She's an old.
Like,
So it's the way it's the kind of company she moves in.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's it. Maybe her husband dies.
Yeah.
And her kids put her in a home.
Sure. Yeah.
Because maybe she's getting a bit fragile.
Yeah.
And they think, well, she'll be safe in an old people's home. How much damage could she really do?
Yeah.
And then she starts killing all the other old. Because maybe she's like, she's
tripping people up, like kicking their Zimmer frames out of the way.
Yes. There's so many funny ways you could kill people in an old people's home.
Yeah.
Theoretically.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could have
like break the wheelchair lift so it goes really fast and like catapults people.
Exactly. Make the stair lift catapult people. Yeah. What else could you do?
Turn the temperature down by 0.5 degree.
Yeah, that could finish off half the room. Yeah.
Just open a window in the middle of winter.
Yep. Swap all the pills around.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Stuff like that. Funny old people murders.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, the best kind of murder.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Serial Granny.
Serial Granny, I like it. Yeah.
Now I also have Serial Dad.
Serial Dad. Okay.
So this is going to be starring Matthew Lillard.
Okay.
He's all grown up and he has a wife and 2 kids.
Sure.
But due to an unplanned 3rd pregnancy, which actually turns out to be triplets.
Oh no.
He starts his midlife crisis.
I mean, that would do it. Yeah.
Yeah. And does he buy himself a red sports car like a normal man going through midlife crisis? Well, yes, but also he goes on a murder spree.
He goes on a murder spree with the sports car, or just in general?
Probably, yeah, with the sports car. Yeah, that's why it's red.
Okay.
And so I was just trying to think of dad things.
Dad things to be murderous about.
So
Well,
I was gonna say like an over 40 soccer club that he plays at. Someone tackles him, but the ref doesn't pick it up, so he has to like murder the ref or something.
Sure. Yeah.
Got some?
There's got to be something with a lawnmower.
Oh yeah, of course.
That's classic dad material right there.
Yeah. What could there be? Something with like garden gnomes or something.
Yeah, definitely. Somebody like steals his favorite garden gnome, or maybe a neighbor has a garden gnome that he doesn't like or something.
Yeah. Like maybe his neighbor like outdoes his garden gnome thing, like they're competing with it. The best garden gnome or whatever, and his neighbor starts winning, so it like goes and grabs a garden gnome and like smashes it over his neighbor's head or something like that.
Or could he murder the garden gnomes first? Like in comedian, like maybe sends them a little china finger in the post or something. Yeah, really.
Oh, that's so harsh.
I know, yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, that's good.
Totally. I've got another one of that weekend at a barbecue. One of the other dads comes up and tries to tell him how to barbecue.
Oh,
he's currently operating the grill.
That's definitely he's gonna.
And when Matthew Lillard's back turned, that man starts flipping Matthew Lillard's burgers.
Oh.
Even though he was totally on top of it, he was keeping an eye on them. But
he's going with his face in that barbecue, isn't he?
That guy's getting a grill to the face, that's for sure. One point he drives past a tie shop, which has a sign outside saying half-price ties for Father's Day. He goes to see the manager in the back room and says, while strangling the man with his own tie, "Nobody wants a tie for a Father's Day gift. It's unimaginative and we don't need any more ties."
Wow. You pulled from some deep trauma.
Am I wrong?
No, I mean, I wouldn't know. I don't get many ties. Yeah, no, that could work. Is this going to go anywhere? Like, is he going to...
Not massively. I'm just pitching little ideas.
Sure, but are his kids going to be like suspicious as well? Kind of could be like a rerun of the original. Maybe they ask the gran what's going on.
Totally can be, but I had something else planned for the kids.
Okay.
So it comes to the 3rd part of this trilogy.
Oh, okay.
Serial babies.
Serial babies. Oh, the triplets.
Yeah.
They're like satanic.
Murderous triplets.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, so I've not got anything for this. So what can we do with this?
Well, I guess they're going to have to grow up a little bit first. They're going to have to at least have motor skills.
Well, yeah, let's say it's 6 months in.
Sure, murder is 6 months. Oh.
Like still definitely babies, not toddlers. So they're still like crawling about or whatever. And like maybe somebody like steals a rattle and like throws it and it just... steals a rattle and like throws it like under someone's foot, and so somebody like trips downstairs or whatever.
Oh, so everything just seems like so innocent because but they're actually the children of Satan.
Yes.
So it's like The Omen meets what's the other one? It's kind of like The Omen. So like maybe meets Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah.
Where it's like maybe every time somebody's back's turned, the kid's eyes just glow red. It's like Rectus Dominus, that kind of thing. Like.
Yeah,
and the triplets are all working together to murder.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the little Stewie Griffins, maybe.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what else you could do. Maybe like the mum leaves one just up on the kitchen counter or something, and it turns on the food grind. You know, Americans have food grinders in their sinks.
Oh, the waste disposal
thing, and they like turn that on when like someone's trying to reach something or something.
Oh, that's
like
a classic.
That. stuff like that. I don't know what else.
Well, are we going to link all these up? So maybe it's like it's all one family, and we find out that the whole family has this. There's serial grand, serial dad, serial triplets. Like just the entire family has murder running through their bones.
Yeah, the murder gene
through their veins. Yeah, they are just, and maybe that's the thing. Maybe they don't. Maybe the real problem is that they're not talking about their psychotic murderous impulses, and when they realize, oh my god, you're a murderer too, you too, and then, and then they like form like the Addams family kind of thing. Like they just become a family of well-adjusted suburban murderers, and they lean into it.
Yeah. Maybe what was her sister called?
Ricki Lake.
Ricki Lake. Yeah. Maybe I was thinking Ricki Lake's thing. She could be a therapist.
Okay.
And she's got a pretty crazy family. They all need therapy, but the twist is she's also a murderer. She's actually a really bad therapist. All her clients they all end up
dead.
suicide,
Yeah.
At their own hands.
Sure, yeah. She got into therapy as just like a talkier way to become a murderer.
Yeah.
Less clean up, yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. And what about the dad then?
I thought he was...
he died at the start, but he's not blood related, is he? So.
No, it's in her. It's her genes. She's got the murder genes that she passes down to her son, and then also to her grandchildren, the triplets. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So that's a murder granny. No, it's a serial granny, serial dad, serial babies, whatever you want to.
Serial family.
Serial family.
Serial family. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I like serial baby though. It's like,
you just like the idea.
It's like a twist on Boss Baby.
Sure. Yeah. Well, that can be what that one's called, but the franchise could be the serial family.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah, very good. I like it. Shall we move on to listener submissions?
Yeah, go on.
Cool. We have a few this week. Nathan Countryman said serial dad, but he said a white male going around killing everyone who calls him a boomer. Oh wait, that's just our lives now. Sad but true. Tim Morgan said Spree Mom is the same death toll as the first movie, but it's only 10 minutes long. The Spree is a faster one.
Yeah.
Although you could mix this up with that film Spree that we watched on Netflix.
Probably,
yeah, that could be the maybe he is the kid from Stranger Things, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe he is the son of Beverly, or like maybe Beverly's like his aunt or something. So again, it could be the blood, murders running in the family.
Or maybe that could just be like another one of Matthew Lillard's children or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Yeah. You could crowbar it in.
Mm-hmm.
Not many people have seen that movie though. If you have seen Spree, it's on Netflix. Lindsay Benkel said tuna fish sandwich mom for lunch. Frank A. Smith said USB mom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Over on Twitter, Cinema Recall at cinema_recall said serial mom goes into hiding for a few years and ends up meeting Mickey and Mallory Knox from the Natural Born Killers.
Mm-hmm.
The three of them end up going after and start killing anyone who wants instant fame via TikTok or Instagram. So I guess it's like 90s killers going after, modern day social media influencers.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, Rob Derrich at Rob Derrich said, I am a serial viewer of this movie. Sequel, she runs for public office on a pro-recycling, anti-white shoe supremacy platform and murders her way into the Oval Office, which she decorates with Pussy Willows, and we're all the better off for it. So she becomes the president. And I like it.
Yeah.
Very, very good. So thank you, everybody, for those sequel ideas. We ask you for your listener submissions every week, a few days before we record, by putting posts out on Facebook and Twitter where you can post your ideas. So make sure you like and follow our pages if you don't want to miss out. To listen to more episodes of Beyond the Box Set, you can subscribe and browse our back catalogue on any podcasting platform, including Apple, Spotify, Google Play, and many others, in all of which you can also leave us a 5-star review if you so wish. You can also support us on Patreon for as much or as little as you think we're worth, and you'll get all the bonus features that we mentioned earlier in the show. You can find all the links in the description below or at beyondtheboxset.com. And Harry, next week it is up to you.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit, you didn't pick anything, did you?
Oh, I completely forgot about that. I did have something. Every year, some point.
I don't know like where this is going. Go on.
I pick a really bad film.
Have we not had that already this year?
No.
Okay.
Why? What would it have been this year?
I can't think. I'd have to go back through the episodes.
We've not done.
I feel like there has been, but okay, fine.
No, we've not done a thing like absolutely anything. Sausage Party.
Oh God, it was
Vampire Killers.
Was absolutely everything.
No, that was in like autumn or something.
Okay. Yeah, that was last year's one, wasn't it?
So, yeah, one a year, one bad film a year. And by bad film, I mean a potentially really bad film. We're gonna do The Love Guru.
Oh no, really?
Yeah.
Oh no.
I've never seen it.
Right, but there's a reason. Oh man, alright, fine.
It looks just horrible.
I mean, it killed Mike Myers' whole career.
Yeah.
Like, it's quite rare for a film to literally make someone just retire in shame.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Fine, okay, but I'm gonna get you for this. Just you wait.
You always do.
Cool, okay, well, listeners, join us next week for The Love Guru.
You want to pick something else?
No, I can deal with this.
Okay.
I'll make peace with it.
Okay.
You choose a good week to make me best man, bitch.
Yeah, cool.
Join us next week for The Love Guru.
Enjoy.
See you then. Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Are those Pussy Willows?